Here we go with another AFL Fantasy team analysis video for 2025, and today we're heading over west to check out a team with a new coach, a few new recruits, and nothing to lose in 2025, the West Coast Eagles. My main beast from the Eagles this year is Liam Duggan. Duggan is a general in defence for the Eagles and is the second string kick and taker last year, and I reckon he's in for another reliable season again in 2025. He's averaged well over the last 3 years after taking on more responsibility on and off the field, and he is able to get into that midfield for a few CBAs, and he takes some kick-ins and gets open for plenty of marks. So he's a very hard-working defender, and his kick-to-handball ratio is also solid. He can hit some serious high ceilings at times as well. Definitely would be happy with Duggan as a D2 or even a D1 on draft day if you left it a bit late. But yeah, definitely one to look out for and could pop a little bit better than last year. Well, we can't talk about beasts at West Coast Eagles without talking about Harley Reid. He's a name everyone knows after 1 year in the league, but will he be fantasy relevant in the year ahead? Yes, but to a degree. He had some decent games in his first year and showed us his class out of the midfield, having the third most CBAs out of all the Eagles players. Obviously, big things are expected of Harley, and it's definitely a possibility, but although he makes very impactful and memorable plays, he doesn't accumulate the ball quite like other natural midfielders do. He'll definitely improve this year and will be someone who's really fun to own in fantasy, I guess. But I'm just not sold that he's going to set the world on fire every week, and I just wouldn't be jumping the gun on him on draft day. A couple of breakout and sleeper options for the West Coast Eagles, and one of them is the new recruit in Liam Baker, who came over from Richmond last year. Baker has been one of the best utility players in the AFL over the last few years. He plays all over the ground, whether it's in defense or forward, even some stints in the middle or on the wing. It's his greatest strength, but also his greatest weakness, as his role is very hard to predict. Could he have a main role to play at the Eagles, and could he average higher than last year? It remains to be seen. Maybe if he can get out at the halfback a bit more and maybe get some CBAs, or I think if he gets the defensive work. But if he's lining up in the forward line in preseason games, I would probably be letting him slide. But yeah, one to definitely keep an very close eye on in the preseason games. Eagles fans will be hoping Elijah Hewitt can get a good run at AFL level this year after a year out with injury. Drafted in 2022 and showing glimpses as a rookie, Hewitt just needs a clean bill of health to make him of relevance this year. An explosive inside midfielder in his under 18 days, he is over all of his injury troubles and looking good this preseason. So I'm hoping we do see Hewitt early in 2025. Added that he has that forward status and he could be a sneaky pick at the end of your drafts, especially if we're looking at those preseason games, and if he's getting amongst it, I would definitely be chucking him on my bench. Couple of rookies out of West Coast now, and he played a couple of games last year, but Clay Hall is one to keep an eye on this year as well. One of the most prolific and hardworking inside midfielders from his draft class, and a local boy on the West Coast. I expect Hall to be thrown into AFL level a lot more this year. His under 18 numbers were elite, and if he can get into the starting side, he may get some CBAs this year, and it could be of fantasy relevance in deeper leagues, or definitely in keeper leagues if you're in that. One rookie from this year's draft that have a lot of Eagles fans excited is Bo Allen, and he's got defender status. Eagles fans were relieved to have Allen slide all the way to them in this year's draft, as he is a homegrown product from the West as well. He captained the West Australian squad in the Under-18 Championships and had a decent carnival as a medium defender and using his speed and smarts off the halfback flank. Could start the year in defense and work his way into the midfield eventually, but that's a big emphasis on could there. We'll have to wait and see when he does get his shot. But yeah, keep an eye on him in the preseason games as well. So a few Eagles to beware coming into the season this year, and the first one is the season-ending one, and that is Dom Sheed has unfortunately done his ACL for 2025, and he's not going to be on the park whatsoever, so make sure to click ignore before draft day and don't even chance it, because Dom Sheed's not going to be anywhere near an AFL field in 2025. And unfortunately, a little beware here as well is the man who's been made of glass a bit over the years in Elliot Yeo. The main thing to be wary of here is the fact that Yeo has injured his medial ligament in his right knee and sustained a syndesmosis damage in his right ankle as well during the preseason. So he's really not going to be back until early in the season, I think, at best. So just one to be aware of. I was hoping that label of him being breakable and made of glass was going to be at an end finally, because he had a pretty decent year last year, and I was kind of disappointed that he didn't have defender status anymore either. But now it's a big red flag, to be honest. And yeah, I would definitely be letting Elliot Yeo slide just a little bit on draft day. Could get him at a steal later on, though, if you wait long enough. But there you have it. A couple of West Coast Eagles players to keep an eye on in your drafts this year. Maybe bump them up, bump them down, see how they go. Yeah, see how all the West Coast goes. Thank you very much for watching this video. Hope I've given you some insight into some half-decent West Coast Eagles players. Get excited for the last video of team analysis, and that's the Western Bulldogs coming up next. So tune in for that one. I'll see you then.